Rise of popular dissent and birth of mass organizations. This is the topic which we are going to talk today. What do you mean by rise of popular dissent? Since the beginning of our Telangana agitation, it is 1952 to till date in the sense the period which we are talking in Telangana formation paper, there are many stages where the movement is at a low level, low ebb, and sometimes it reached a high peak. And at times there were no big mass movements, and only a few people were talking about it or inspiring the people to continue the struggle. And at times there were people who were there, at times there were incidents or the periods where people were gathering in thousands or lakhs. And the entire state, the Telangana region, was under the impact of the movement. So here, today we will be talking about the rise of popular dissent and birth of mass organizations. Just in the previous class, we have discussed about the initial stages where there is a huge silence, there is no one talking about it, where the whole movement went into some lull, like because of the wrong consciousness or because of the efforts of the ruling classes to colonize Telangana with the consciousness which is fake, like Telugu identity and rise of Telugudesam party. All these things we have seen. So in this background, the whole movement went into slumber. Means there is no big movement, but the consciousness of Telangana still remains. Where does this consciousness remains? This consciousness or understanding or the aspiration of Telangana for Telangana is in the brains, in the consciousness of some intellectuals, writers and political activists. And that is why post 1990s we have seen there is a lot of change. Before 90s, starting from 86 to 90 or 92, we have seen the efforts in the last class how the intellectuals, a group of people, are trying to start the movement in a new way. New forms of organizations, though it is not a huge organization, a small organization like Telangana Information Center, or through booklets like Flash and Fellowmen by E.V. Padmanabhan. All these things are making efforts to keep the spark alive, so that this spark will once, in the future course, it will become a huge prairie fire. So we have to understand that when there is a silence, there will be a section which will keep the whole movement still active, though not in a big way. Now, the efforts of these people have definitely blossomed, flourished, or gave results. Like once the consciousness is still there and it is growing, when the conditions are there for the growth of a huge movement, and definitely the opportunity is taken up by the people. So that's what has happened. Till 1990s, we have seen the movement is at a low level, low ebb. But 92 onwards, we have seen the student movement started in Usmania University and grown, and TLSO or TSF and student organizations formed, and now there is an active movement for the Telangana formation, though at a low level. But in this background, there are some organizations which are coming up because of the efforts of the people who are conscious. The consciousness of these people is of two levels. One is Telangana consciousness. Second thing is ideological consciousness. Why I am speaking of ideological consciousness along with Telangana consciousness, you can see the type of organizations which are coming up now are completely different. Not just Telangana consciousness, but there is a question of class consciousness, question of the consciousness about the rights of the people in class perspective. If I am saying class perspective, remember that is a leftist word. This is a word which is applicable for the people or organizations which are completely into a perspective with class orientation. So, in this period and in this class, we are going to talk about such organizations which came up with the initiative from the organizations which are class conscious. And at the same time, they are for the rights of Telangana too. So this phase is a little bit different from the all other mass organizations which are sectoral. Means, for example, if lecturers are forming an organization, that will be a lecturers organization. It is like just a trade union having the consciousness of Telangana and fighting for it. So here today we will be talking about some of the organizations or meetings or events which gave rise to a huge movement which has gathered thousands of people into the agitation. For example, we talk about Bhuvanagiri Sabha, we talk about Telangana Aikya Vedika, we talk about Telangana Mahasabha, we talk about Warangal Declaration, Telangana Janasabha, Telangana Vidyarthula Vedika. All these organizations are having a clear-cut class orientation. So, what is the significance of all these organizations? First point, from small efforts to mass orientation is the basic character. Initial efforts are just small, a group meeting or people talking about it with a narrow organizational base. It is not a huge movement, but the consciousness is huge. So initial efforts to raise the consciousness of the society or the masses is lying with these people, and immediately these initial efforts started for raising the consciousness. Second aspect is the whole movement of this period was beginning as a small gathering and going as a bigger meeting. Might be the beginnings will be in a hall, a center where people will gather and discuss for a whole day and go with a new resolution and make a huge meeting where thousands of masses will come and participate in the delegate sessions or seminars and also public meetings. So this is second aspect. Third one, the progressive and democratic ideology. I said ideology, that is fine. This is the phase where the consciousness is carried out to the masses, being carried to the masses or taken to the masses by the people who are ideologically progressive and democratic. What do you mean by progressive and democratic? The class consciousness, just as I told till now. Class consciousness, consciousness about the rights of the deprived. It is not just Telangana, plus also it is ST, scheduled tribe or Dalit or Adivasi or gender or minority. All this consciousness along with the class perspective put into Telangana, and this is the form of organizations we have. So, ideological groupings of these organizations transformed the whole aspect into a mass movement. We can see still the political movement hasn't picked up. Political movement in the sense, do I say that this is not a political movement? Everything is a political movement. But the political movement in which I am going to talk, or the political movement which we are discussing, is the political movement related to elections, or a political party which is fighting the elections to lobby or to fight or to make laws in parliament to get Telangana. So again I am explaining two aspects. Many people say that political movement means political party and elections. Don't ever mistake that. Political movement is a movement, whether you are into assembly or not, it's a political movement. So this is all political movement, and the political movement which many of the books or the phases we talk is electioneering. Political party which is formed for the formation of Telangana is TRS. If we see TRS as a political party, its aim is not only a mass movement but legislation in the assemblies or parliaments and making the law or enacting the law to bring out Telangana as a separate state. So here in this background, this is non-parliamentary or non-election, and the other one is election based. So here we haven't come to the stage where TRS party which is into elections is not coming up. It is coming in the latter part of our decade. But here what is happening? These mass organizations started and created a huge mass movement which gave birth to TRS like parties also. That is very important. One side it is mass organization, on the other side creating a mood, creating an understanding in the political people like KCR, so that the whole movement will be transformed into other half of the mass movement, that is political or activities in parliamentary politics. So, in this background, this I call it as generalization for this period. So, in this background, what are the new organizations or events happening? The first and foremost meeting we should talk about is Bhuvanagiri Sabha. What is Bhuvanagiri Sabha? Bhuvanagiri is a place, it's a small town in Nalgonda district, and presently it's might be in Yadadri Bhuvanagiri district. That is previously Nalgonda, now this is Yadadri Bhuvanagiri. Bhuvanagiri is a medieval significant fort started in Kalyani Chalukyan period. Before also we have the continuity of Bhuvanagiri. Our Telangana history is so rich that if we go back to our ancient times, Bhuvanagiri is one of the site where Vishnukundis also formed their centers. So Bhuvanagiri, Aleru, Kolanpak, all these centers had a contiguous history from ancient to modern times. And we are in modern times, we are talking about the Bhuvanagiri Sabha, which is very, very significant in Telangana movement. This is the first meeting of importance which broke the ground. From here onwards, you can see masses pouring into the meetings or going into the people, the organizations going into the masses and bringing them into Telangana farms, organizations or agitation, consciousness. So, Bhuvanagiri Sabha is one such important event. Here, for Bhuvanagiri Sabha, there is a background. It's not a spontaneous thing that everyone went to Bhuvanagiri and started a meeting and people gathered. No, it was a conscious effort. In January 1997, on 19th, there was a meeting in Ashoka Talkies near VV College, Vivekavardhini College, Putliboli in Hyderabad. So this meeting was organized by a group of journalists known as Forum for Freedom of Expression. This meeting was organized in memory of Ghulam Rasool, a journalist who was killed by the government, killed by the Chandrababu Naidu government in encounter. How he was killed? Because he was accompanying a Naxalite or Naxalite sympathizer, so he was killed. That was the statement by the government. So Ghulam Rasool, a journalist being killed by state and no regrets or no inquiries. So the organization which was started in this period is known as Forum for Freedom of Expression. It's an organization of journalists, and Pasham Yadagiri was the convener. Pasham Yadagiri, an important, a prominent personality in the entire Telangana movement post 1969. 69 period he was a student, and again come to 80s or 90s movement until last date. We can see Pasham Yadagiri in many meetings. Every meeting he'll be attending and speaking for the formation of Telangana. Ideologically strong and understanding about Telangana with very rich understanding. So Pasham Yadagiri, the convener of this forum, was organizing this meeting. In this meeting, the topic, since it's a memorial lecture, every year you have a topic and people gather. And this year, that is 1997, the topic was Telangana culture and discrimination. And this Telangana culture discrimination meeting was a huge success because the whole hall was packed, jam-packed, and the meeting was titled as this Forum for Expression, but they are talking about Telangana. Discrimination. You are talking about Telangana and discrimination. How Telangana is being discriminated by the ruling class, Andhra ruling class, which is in power in United Andhra Pradesh. So automatically the entire program or the plans or the activities of this meeting will be on those lines. So that is why in this meeting, first issue of Daga Padda Telangana was inaugurated. A booklet, Daga Padda Telangana. Daga Padda Telangana means Telangana which is a victim of treachery or deceit. The deceived Telangana, that is Daga Padda Telangana. brought out by Gadayinaya. Gadayinaya, another prominent personality in the next phase of Telangana movement. He was with all the formations and helping the people to take out the agitational forms because he was providing ideological basis. Each and every field he was doing research and talking about how Telangana is being deceived. The statistical data he is collecting. And Dagapadda Telangana is one such effort. Like the Forum for, that Telangana Information Trust was also bringing booklets. And this is one such book, Dagapadda Telangana. This is the first issue. And in this meeting itself, Jayashankar's lecture, in the last class we have talked about Mallepalli Rajam Trust was organizing a memorial lecture, and in that Jayashankar gave a lecture on Telangana lo em jarugutundi. And in this meeting, the lecture was also brought out as a booklet. And third important and very, very, very prominent thing is Gaddar's famous song, Amma Telanganama, Akali Kekala Ganama. Amma Telanganama, Akali Kekala Ganama song was sung by Gaddar for the first time. Means, oh Telangana mother, just you are impoverished with the hunger. That is what the song says. So, Amma Telanganama, Akali Kekala Ganama, which became a popular song in the next phase. The entire phase you sing this song, and many more songs are there which was sung by Gaddar. Like in Jaibolo Telangana, we have seen Podustuna Poddumida. It has become a remarkable, a immemorable song and a cut above the other songs. So this Amma Telanganama is one such song. So in this meeting, they talked about Telangana, the deceit or the victimization of Telangana by the Andhra ruling class. So after this meeting, in that meeting itself, they concluded by taking a resolution that we are going to organize a meeting at Bhuvanagiri. So decision to organize Bhuvanagiri Sabha was taken in this meeting. So once you take a decision to start Bhuvanagiri Sabha, meeting at Bhuvanagiri, means that is Bhuvanagiri Sabha, there should be preparations. Jaini Mallaya Gupta, a freedom fighter from Bhuvanagiri, was the person who is at the center. Spirited man for Telangana cause. Even in the recent times, recently, a few years back, his 90th anniversary, birth anniversary, means birthday celebrations were held. Even at the age of 90, he was speaking so powerfully about Telangana movement or the rights of the people. So, a staunch Democrat from Bhuvanagiri, Jaini Mallaya Gupta was there as the person. Around him, the whole organizational setup or the preparations will be done. And this is because the movement or the meeting should be organized amidst repression. The government of Chandrababu Naidu, the entire period, if you see, till the last phase, it was till 2004, you can say, in Telangana, there was huge repression because Naxalite movement was also at its peak. In almost all the districts of North Telangana and even South Telangana too, in many districts, there was Naxalite movement, squads were roaming. So, there was severe repression in Telangana too. So, amidst this repression, you have to organize this meeting. So, you have to involve various shades of organizations or people from different walks of life, many Democrats like lawyers, intellectuals, journalists, and some employees, so that they can counter the repression or they can counter the state from stopping it, because they take the pretext of Naxalism and stop the movement for Telangana. So it should not be done. So this is the preparations they made. They have made a huge reception committee with 43 members. Reception committee with 43 members means these 43 members from different walks of life will be involved in the reception committee. So the appeal will go on behalf of them. So Nagara Manjayya was the convener of Telangana Hakkula Samiti, an advocate from Bhuvanagiri. And this Nagara Manjayya, as convener, organized this reception committee. Nagara Manjayya was also a Dalit activist. He was for the classification of Madiga caste. So Madiga reservation or SC reservation should be classified. Mala Madiga, that reservation classification organization is there. So Nagara Manjayya was involved in the struggle for classification for Madigas. So Nagara Manjayya was an advocate, he is an advocate, and he was the convener of this reception committee. And apart from Jaini Mallaya Gupta, P. Balakrishna Reddy, or Innaya, Gada Innaya, just now I talked about. Then Sama Mallareddy, a journalist. Pittala Srisailam, another journalist and noted Telangana activist. All these people were involved in this entire preparations. So the preparations for Bhuvanagiri Sabha went on well. They could organize people, they could invite people, and on March 8th and 9th, 1997, the meeting was held at Bhuvanagiri. March 8th is very significant. If you recollect, the first meeting after 56 Andhra Pradesh formation is happening in 1958. March 8th, Telangana Mahasabha, happening in one of the palace of Pratapgirji. And Telangana Mahasabha under the presidentship of Venkat Swami, first time talked about this united Andhra Pradesh. 2 years of experience is bad. We have to fight for Telangana cause. This is happening in 1956. Again, you can see March 8th in 1977. March 8th is significant because, see, when we talk about March 8th, it's a progressive day. Means it is the day of remembering the struggles of women workers, and rights of women. It's Women's Day, International Women's Day. When you have such a prominent International Women's Day, so coinciding with that, these people thought of organizing this March 8th. And that's why I said class conscious, ideologically conscious people choose such things which is more relevant to the people in a class perspective. So the meetings, 2-day meeting, that is Bhuvanagiri Sabha, started at Bhuvanagiri. Kaloji Narayan Rao, the famous Telangana person, by this time inaugurated it. Kaloji was not in favor of Telangana. He was first a Vishalandhrite. But post 1956, his understanding that Telangana should be a reality. And Andhra ruling class cannot do justice to the Telangana people. And this understanding of Vishalandhra is a fake. That is why Kaloji became a staunch Telanganite by this time. And Kaloji inaugurated this meeting on 8th. And the venue was named as Nizam Vyatireka Amaraveerula Pranganam. What do you mean by Nizam Vyatireka Amaraveerula Pranganam? Any movement, present day's movement, should link up with the heroic struggles of the people of that region so that you can invite the same vigor and vitality into the movement. That is why they named the hall as Nizam Vyatireka Amaraveerula Pranganam, which happened between 1946-51. Since this is Bhuvanagiri, Nalgonda was a hotbed of Telangana armed struggle. So the venue was named as Nizam Vyatireka Amaraveerula Pranganam. So as I said, 8th and 9th, you have 2 sessions, 2 different wings. One is delegate session, one is public meeting. Public meeting, huge meeting, anyone can come, attend and listen to the speeches. And delegate session will be thoroughly discussing the aspects of the meeting. This meeting is for Telangana. So this Bhuvanagiri Sabha's delegate session will be talking about the issues pertaining to Telangana. So the delegate session, we have seen many intellectuals like Professor Jayashankar talking about education, health, Gada Innaya, irrigation, power, Professor Srinivas, colonization and employment, Keshavrao Jadhav, resources, industry, pollution, and the perspective of Telangana movement was discussed by Gaddar and Venkateshwarlu and Nandini Siddhareddy, presently who is the chairman of Telangana Sahitya Parishad, spoke on language, culture, media. K. Srinivas, renowned journalist, spoke about media and discrimination of Telangana. Ghanta Chakrapani, our TSPSC chairman, talked about the social welfare issues, SC, ST, BC, minority students and rights in education and all these things. Dr. Mattaya talked about reservation and classification. And Professor B. Janardhan Rao, a staunch, a great academician from Kakatiya, he is no more, and he discussed on the tribal issues in Telangana. He was an expert on Telangana issues. Remember this name, Professor B. Janardhan Rao was talking about the tribal issues in Telangana. Apart from them, Professor P.L. Vishweshwar Rao, all these names will be recurring again and again from now onwards because these people are involving in many of the aspects, activities in Telangana movement. So Mallepalli Lakshmaya, Professor P.L. Vishweshwar Rao, Pasham Yadagiri, KG Satyamurthy. KG Satyamurthy is a prominent leader of that time of Dalit Republican angle. But he was a leader of People's War once. He came out of People's War and joined the Dalit politics, and he was the leader of Republican Party of those days. So KG Satyamurthy, all these people attended and gave their opinions on the issues of Telangana. So what Bhuvanagiri Sabha demanded? Bhuvanagiri Sabha, you see, of any meeting should demand something. Bhuvanagiri Sabha demanded lift the power cuts in Telangana. Power cut means it is not just power cuts in household. The power cuts are affecting the agriculture in Telangana. Without power, we don't have irrigation water. So power cuts badly affecting the agricultural scenario in Telangana. So lift power cuts. Abolish common entrance tests. Introduce regional one. Because common entrance tests are in favorable of United Andhra Pradesh. So regional entrance tests. Then Shikam, Manyam, Banjar or surplus lands. All these are the forms of lands which is not under the ownership of any private person. So personal ownership leaning, or there is no personal ownership for these lands. These lands are under the purview of the state, and state should distribute these lands to landless. And and some more things like funds to Sriram Sagar, SLBC, that is Srisailam Left Bank Canal, and minor irrigation projects should be allocated. Strict implementation of 1 of 70 Act, which is a Forest Rights Act for the forest dwelling people, that is Adivasis. And provide drinking water to Telangana. Drinking water is a huge problem. Though the two big rivers like Godavari and Krishna flows through Telangana first. Telangana is still under the still reeling under the problems of drinking water and irrigation. So drinking water issue was also taken up. Drinking water issue is so problematic in Telangana. Like, you see, the river Krishna enters into Mahbub Nagar. But Krishna water, the Mahbub Nagar district don't get Krishna water. And Mahbub Nagar, not now, but previously under United Andhra Pradesh, used to get drinking water once in 15 days, Mahbub Nagar town, or once in 10 days. Take the case of Sangareddy, which is on the banks of Manjira river. Manjira water comes to Hyderabad to quench the thirst of the city, but the locals don't get neither drinking water nor irrigated water of Manjira. So that's why we are demanding for drinking water to Telangana too. So the other demands are classification of SC, ST, BC minority reservations on the regional basis. Lift police camps from Telangana villages. Telangana was under severe repression. So lift police camps. Because in the pretext of curbing the Naxalism, every village was soaking with blood because of the repression by the United Andhra Pradesh government. So lift police camps, then stop privatization of industries. In Telangana, 50% reservation for women in all fields. Then oppose humiliating Telangana language and culture. In media, there is no place for Telangana language. Telangana language is being considered as a second grade language, a rural language, uncivilized thing. So oppose that. Then they condemned the political leaders who usurped the benefits of the Telangana movement of 1969, like Channa Reddy or Madan Mohan, who became political leaders. They became CMs or governors or MPs or MLAs, but they didn't again start the movement after the withdrawal. So these were the demands of Bhuvanagiri Sabha. And Bhuvanagiri public meeting was held, huge gathering, and in the public meeting, Belli Lalita, remember this name, leader of Gollakurma Dolu Debba, and her team performed. And she was known as Nightingale of Telangana. For Telangana movement, she sang many songs. And she is from that Dolu Debba organization, which is belonging to Gollakurmas. So she was killed by Naeem gang after this meeting, after a few months only, but she was killed by Naeem gang. So we lost a great Telangana singer in the hands of a gangster like Naeem. And Gaddar was shot on 6th April, just after 1 month of this Bhuvanagiri Sabha meeting. Gaddar was shot by unidentified people. Tragically, till date, we don't know who were the people. So she was shot on 6th April. So Bhuvanagiri Sabha has some message that this is the first time people are getting organized under some organization or under the consciousness. People are gathering, and this Sabha was a huge success with thousands of people pouring into Bhuvanagiri to attend the public meeting. In the latter part of the class, in the second part, we will see the other organizations too.